Mike is about to go give a talk, but I said, no, got to do a quick interview. I sat down, he was like, your name's not Mark, is it? Because the hotel check-in person said there's a guy who's like a doppelganger, but we decided, no, I'm not Mark, but all bald guys look the same.
Exactly.
It's discrimination, it's ism of some sort. But you were just saying you're going to give a talk about podcast directories and how to get found outside of things that are just the podcast host. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, most of the time it's like we look at the podcast host and go, hey, I'm covered, I'm good to go.
It's sending it to Spotify and Apple,
Yeah.
or whatever, yeah.
And while they will from Apple feed other directories, they look at Apple to say, hey, these are the ones we're going to use.
Yeah.
You've got stuff like smart devices in your house that are becoming more familiar. So Audible and Amazon. You've got other countries like India is really up and coming. So you've got Ghana and Geo as far as directories that are hitting off really big.
Never even heard of that. Okay. Is a directory like a podcast app? Is that what it is?
Ghana and Geo are not. So they're almost like if you went to Spotify and they've got the directory listing and everything, similar thing. So you've got apps that are obviously out there like Good Pods, other ones along those lines that you can list with.
Yeah.
But like I would say probably the fourth one that I would list with would be Samsung Podcasts. We're covered with Apple devices through obviously Apple Podcasts, but in order to hit Android, Samsung is a great one to make sure you're registered with.
I didn't even know that. So if I'm with like Simplecast and they're sending it out, I might not even be on Samsung. Like
Correct.
Maybe it's not on their list. Oh my God! I better go to your talk.
If you go to Buzzsprout and look at their global stats for the month of April,
Yeah.
they've got over 30, I think it's like 35 different places that they list by percentage of where their listeners are for all the people that they're hosting all the podcasts. Beyond that, there's still another 15% that's not captured. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was offered $100 and somebody's like, well, we're only going to give you 85, I would still want that 15.
I want my 15, definitely.
So that is really what it is are you willing to invest the time now as a pretty much one-time effort to catch that one listener that may be able to share with their circle of friends to give your audience
I like that.
additional visibility.
And if they're on such, like a weird app that I've never heard of, then maybe they're more into it or something. Like every now and then I check my stats. I'm like, oh, look, somebody listened in Sweden or Vietnam or something. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Who's what? So it's kind of fun almost to find those secret people. I don't know who these people are that are listening on the Samsung app or all these weird things.
Well,
But
and it's like, we know about our niches and like, making sure that we're reaching out to our markets.
yeah,
But there's also language. If you're speaking Chinese, there's ones that are specifically serving China.
Oh.
And if you're, reaching out to countries, like there's one for MENA, like Middle Eastern and North Africa, that they speak Arabic and international languages. There's another site that does that as well. There's also by people's people groups. So let's say, if I've got a friend that's a female podcaster, there's Women of Podcasting.
yeah.
So it's finding those areas that align with you, but also making sure that if you're going to list there, that you align with their market, not just spamming the world and saying, hey, I need one more listener, but that you're actually serving the people that are there.
Right. Oh my God! And are you like, do you have an app? Like, are you selling something here, or you just happen to be a genius on this kind of thing?
It's one of those of you go down a rabbit hole and you kind of learn a little bit about things. So for me, it is I've got a checklist of like 51. Well, it's a spreadsheet of like 51 different directories, whether you're applying via their website, and it could just be listing your RSS feed, or you're sending it by email, or through the app signing up, through your store. So if people are interested in that, they can go to hicoachmike.com/podfest2022. And it's got it where it's got the URL or the email address, and then I created a column where it's like, put your username if it's needed and the date so you can keep track of it.
Oh my God, that's also used. Hi Coach?
Hi Coach Mike, HICOACHMIKE.com, and then /podfest2022.
All right, well, look at this. It's like a special exclusive. His talk people haven't even heard this. It's probably in a slide, but you're getting it first. or whenever I post this, like in 5 years or something. No, I'm going to try to get this stuff up quickly.
You're good, Josh.
Thank you. Thank God TikTok has a 10-minute limit now. This won't fit on an Instagram reel, but it's an actual. Who knew this was going to be an actual informative speech? Bald guys are just the best. And I had to take up my hat. This is how long it was. I didn't want to. I'm going to get burnt to a crisp because you just kept rambling on with your useful information.
The bald guys need to watch our heads so we don't end up red.
Exactly.
We'll be true redheads.
I know. We're getting cocky sitting out here. Yeah, redheads. That's a good one. All right. Well, enjoy your talk. And I feel like I just got your talk. So now I can just sit out and enjoy the sun.
I appreciate it. Thank
And
you,
when
Josh.
I told you when I moved to Florida and buy my mansion, you can come live with me. So
Absolutely.
awesome. All right. Jeff Bezos can come. He can be our third bald guy.
There we go.
All right. All right. Bye, everyone.